Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 18th of October. Plenty to cover as always, lots of standout routes, so keep yourselves well prepared as always. So we can smash links to be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GIsALegend, all links are down below for playlists in the channel and social media links as always. So quite a few big games, not just in Europe but around the world as well. Let's get yourselves prepared for that as always. So 3 EPL games in West Ham versus Spurs, Chelsea Manchester United, and then Bournemouth versus Southampton. West Ham is the one I've gone for as the standout of the 3 because it is a big London derby. Plenty of SBC options in both teams, with Chelsea and Manchester United both are obviously fighting for top of the table clash, but Manchester United just slightly outside the top 6, and Bournemouth Southampton is a South Coast derby, and it is both is an alternative to both. So if you wanted to be prepared, buy all 6 teams. That way you're at least covered. Going like Balbuena, Sturman, Lamela, Janssen, Sissoko, Darmian, you'll be well and truly covered. From there we go to Sweden of Djurgardens versus AIK. Now I really fancy this because AIK are actually going for the title, and that is kind of where the strength in that lies. And also we'll be having possibly other SBCs coming from Sweden in due course. Now Olsen, of formerly West Brom, he now plays for Djurgardens, is a strong option to consider if they have a range requirement, which I hope they don't. Then from there it should be fairly straightforward. The dude at left centre back plays for AIK as well. Just to say, I don't see it being a 70 rated route. MLS, we have Montreal versus Toronto. This is the 401 and also is the Canadian derby, so be aware of this. Second of the main curveballs, that smaller league options that I really fancy. MLS is also a popular curveball, and there is lots of goals to work with, so they could easily bump this route up to like a 72, 73 rated squad, which I'm kind of suspecting they could do, and then it makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. It would then allow options like Silva at right wing, Stefan in goals, Horta, whoever. Montreal, Toronto have well and truly covered, plenty to cover. Then Serie A, we've tweaked the formation to 4-2-2-2 just due to who we had, but it's Inter versus Milan in the Milan derby, both fighting for top 4. Inter probably will want to, obviously Inter's been the superior team in recent seasons, because Inter's in Champions League, Milan's been in the Europa League, but regardless, João Mario is a very popular card for AC Milan. You've got Cutrone, Donnarumma, Kaidara, so you've got a few of them. For Inter Milan as well, you can look at D'Ambrosio and like Dalbert, these kind of players. From here we then move to Poland. Poland has a lot, they've got 2 routes. Legia and Wisla is the one that is my smaller alternative. Historic Polish derby of course, and they are title rivals. Legia being the more superior team in recent seasons, but Wisla, they had a very star striker in Lopez, who now plays for Legia, so that is kind of something to consider. I give it a 6 out of 10. I really do quite fancy it, but it's one to be prepared for regardless. Lopez, or Carlitos as he is now in FIFA, he is the only gold in the league these days, so he might be worth buying if a ratings requirement was required, and he is also Spanish, so it gives you another nationality. From there we go to the A-League, which everyone has been preparing for weeks. Since pretty much the games came out, they have been preparing for Melbourne Victory versus Melbourne City, because when A-League dropped the last time, players were going for 10,000 coins. Do I expect the same again? I do not suspect that. Melbourne Victory are current champions. This is also the first game of the season, so be aware that this is going to be big in its own right, and it is the Melbourne derby, but there is lots of A-League derbies coming up thick and fast, so this game could easily be avoided. In terms of gold, you've got Honda, who is a gold, Ninkovic, Fornaroli, just to name a few. Then we go from there to Austria, which is a title clash of in a sense, but not as much for Rapid Vienna, who are having a terrible season, and Salzburg kind of just running away with the league. But usually both teams are fighting not far off for the title. But Salzburg, you can look at the Boer, Rapid Vienna, you can look at Alar, Samus Guiu, I think it is, the CDM 75 gold. But it's a 5 out of 10. I don't fancy it, but it's just, I think if they're going to do Austria, it will be the Vienna derby. But time will tell, of course. But you've got to be prepared for curveballs. If you're one of these players that buys up leagues, then you're sorted. Over to China, we have obviously Shanghai SIPG versus Jiangsu Suning, which is one of the Chinese derbies. It is obviously Chinese league is new to FIFA 19, and it's a small league option. I've tried to cover as many goals as I can, and then I thought I had everyone bar the goalkeeper, which was a bit annoying. Mixing a few Chinese players and then a mix of nationalities like Brazilians and Italian and Polish as well, so good balance. I've only got one rare in as far as I believe, maybe two. I'd never checked the goalkeeper off the top of my head, but it should be fairly straightforward to put that together. Then from here we go over to Spain for the lesser of the Basque derbies. Eibar versus Bilbao. It's a smaller one of the two. Now, Bilbao Sociedad, about 95% sure happened last week, so you won't find this route happening. Still a 4 or 5 out of 10, but I've got to at least make yourselves aware of it. You never know what could happen. Plus, the La Liga Player of the Month, if there's hype, then the league suddenly might have a little bit of hype, and then people might be like, oh, let's get prepared for either buying or selling these players. If there's any small hype, then it's for selling in profit. And then the last route of the week is Celtic versus Hibs, which is a historic clash in a sense between both teams. Hibs are currently sitting in second, Celtic sitting in fourth, I believe, if I've got the table right. Its goal difference is a difference matter if I've got it right. But anyways, 5 out of 10. For me, for Hibs you've got like Whitaker, Marciano, Bogdan, Hanlon, Stevenson, Celtics like Griffiths, Forrest, Rogic, these kind of players. But hopefully you find this useful, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you fancy for the marquee matchups for this week. As I said, the 4 that I fancy are West Ham, Spurs, Montreal, Toronto, Inter Milan, Djurgardens versus AIK, with a prep for the Legia Warsaw, Wisla Krakow, and then Chelsea Manchester United. As always, remember to check the predictions league as well. I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Remember to smash the like, sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, GZLegend, and I will catch you all later.